Shaquille O'Neal really wants the WNBA to lower the rims for some reason. He's been saying it for years.
Solution for that, and nobody's gonna like my solution.
I'm here.
So let me explain why I came up with this solution first. In women's beach volleyball, let's just say that the net is 10. For women, it's lower just a little bit. I'm not saying lower it to 9-5, but just 9-9.
Just so we can dunk?
Yes.
No.
Shaquille O'Neal, the towering NBA legend, has always been known for his big ideas. But his latest suggestion about how to elevate the WNBA sparked a surprising controversy.
And
I hate when men say that.
But listen, that's the only difference.
We start dunking and what?
Watch what?
One that left WNBA star Angel Reese less than impressed. Shaq's advice? Lower the rims in women's basketball to allow more dunks, attract more fans, and ultimately boost players' salaries. At first glance, it sounds simple enough. A women's basketball to allow more dunks, attract more fans, and ultimately boost players' salaries. At first glance, it sounds simple enough. A well-intentioned tip from a sports icon to help female athletes get the recognition and the paycheck they deserve. But for Angel Reese, Shaq's comment hit a nerve. On her podcast, Unapologetically Angel, where the two sat down for a candid chat, her immediate reaction was clear. I hate when men say that. In Reese's view, Shaq's suggestion wasn't just a misguided attempt to help. It revealed a frustrating misconception about women's sports. So, what led to this surprising clash between two celebrated athletes? Let's dive in. As the conversation unfolded, Shaq and Reese got onto the topic of pay disparity in sports, a subject that's become increasingly important, especially as WNBA players strive for fair compensation. Shaq, ever the problem solver, leaned in with his game-changing idea. If the rims were lowered, more women could dunk, and the excitement this could generate might bridge the gap between NBA and WNBA viewership. He reasoned that if people tuned in for thrilling moves like dunks, WNBA players could become household names, and their salaries would likely rise in response. But from Reese's perspective, Shaq's solution missed the mark entirely. To her, lowering the rims wouldn't increase respect for women's sports. People always disrespect women regardless, she explained. Reese was blunt. If the value of women's basketball rests solely on whether or not the players can dunk, then the true worth of their skill, strategy, and athleticism is being overlooked. To add fuel to the fire, Shaq drew a comparison to the slightly lowered nets used in women's beach volleyball. He felt this adjustment made the game more visually exciting, which could work the same way for basketball. Reese's response? She wasn't convinced and felt this quick fix approach ignored the broader issues women in sports face every day. For her, respect should be earned by appreciating the game for what it already is, not by changing it to mirror the men's version. Shaq, however, didn't back down easily. He pointed to Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star known for her incredible three-point shots from beyond the arc. It's about seeing stuff you ain't supposed to see, Shaq said, highlighting that Clark's popularity is partly fueled by her long-range shooting, a skill that's become her signature and a major draw for fans. He argued that just as Clark's long shots turn heads, more dunks in the WNBA could have the same effect. But Reese wasn't buying it. For her, Clark's success wasn't about spectacle, it was about pure skill. If people are tuning in just for dunks, she argued, they're missing out on the finesse and expertise that make women's basketball a distinct and valuable sport. To Reese, the solution lies in shifting public attitudes, not changing the rules of the game. It's no secret that WNBA players face an uphill battle in the realm of salaries and financial stability. Reese, a player for the Chicago Sky, shared that her rookie salary of $74,909 doesn't even cover her rent. She supplements her income with endorsement deals from brands like Reebok and Beats by Dre, which certainly help, but they don't change the reality that her professional base pay pales in comparison to NBA rookies earning millions. From Reese's perspective, the disparity won't be fixed by a gimmick like lower rims. It requires a fundamental shift in how society values women's sports. And so, What started as a conversation on potential ways to grow the WNBA turned into a much bigger issue, one that goes beyond lowering rims or boosting highlights. Shaq's idea seemed to come from a place of enthusiasm, but it left Reese feeling that her sport's inherent value was being sidelined. She believes that if people truly respect and appreciate the game, they'll come for the skills, the strategy, and the athletes themselves, not just a novelty. There is a silver lining, however. Despite the low base salaries, there's new hope on the horizon for WNBA players. Reese is set to participate in a newly launched 3-on-3 league called Unrivaled, which offers a minimum six-figure salary to each player, thanks to a broadcast deal with TNT Sports. For Reese, this league represents a different kind of progress, one that doesn't require lowering rims or reshaping the game. Instead, it stands to honor women's basketball for what it already brings to the table. In the end, Shaq's well-meaning advice sparked a conversation that needed to happen. Angel Reese's reaction reminds us that change isn't just about adding flair. It's about understanding and valuing what's already there. Lower rims might bring a momentary buzz, but for Reese and many other WNBA players, true progress is seeing the game and the athletes respected for their skills, tenacity, and talent.